All right, here we go, youth. Pleasant View Baptist Church youth, I miss you. It's time for another Saturday night special. I just asked Jesse and Wyatt if my hair was okay. Jesse said my beard may have a little gray and maybe a little messed up, but we're going to do it anyways. Hey, the word I'm thinking about this week is called compassion. And compassion, when you look it up, it means having a sympathetic pity and a concern for others. Concern for the misfortune or suffering of others. Okay? Are you a compassionate person? First off, let me show you what compassion is not. Let's see if this works. Say hello to the little friends. Let's see. Typically they spit and they fight each other. See that? They're not being super compassionate. They're not having a sympathetic pity. It doesn't look like the big white one has a big concern for the others. There's a spit. I knew it was coming. Yep. All right. So we're going to close this door as they continue to eat. That's what compassion is not. There's a story in the Bible, and it talks about Jesus feeding the 5,000. And guys, I got this on my mind this week because earlier in the week I was put on a podcast. Someone turned me on to a podcast that I listened to. And it was from this guy from the Southeast Christian Church. This incredible thing. He talked about compassion and just having the right conversations during this time. And the story he told was a story of Jesus feeding the 5,000. After he did that, Jesus was trying to get away. And it's in Mark. And he was just trying to go and just take some time on his own. And the people kept following him. And the verse in Mark says he looked towards the crowd and he had compassion on them. So he ended up taking care of them. And guys, we're so busy sometimes in all of our hey-do, whatever it is, all the different things that we do in our day, we get so busy and we tend to forget about everybody else. But this time where we've been slowed down, we've been brought back to just maybe our families and our close friends, and maybe some of us aren't working. This time is a perfect time to think about if you're a compassionate person and if you have that pity for others' misfortune and sufferings. It reminds me of a story I've heard. There's this race car driver. He's real famous. And he ended up winning this race, and they tied, and they had to go all the way out to California. So on his way out to California, he got lost, and he ended up in this little town in northern Arizona.
Hey, Dad, isn't that the movie Cars?
No, this is a real story. So this race car driver, he ends up in this town in northern Arizona off Route 66, right? Route 66,
Dad,
and it was off of Interstate 40.
You're talking about Cars.
No, this is a real story. This really happened. So this race car driver, his name was Larry or Lautner. It started with an L. Anyways, this race car driver, he ends up in this small town, and he's full of himself, right? He's I am the best race car driver.
Dad, you're really talking about Cars.
Dude, if you guys keep interrupting me, I'm going to get aggravated. It's not Cars. I don't know what you're talking about. This race car driver was the best. He was the fastest, and he was a rookie. See, he was a rookie. And he had this was his first year to race, and all he wanted to do was be the best. And he ends up in this small town, right? This small town in northern off Route 66, and he meets this guy named Mater, and Mater's a tow truck driver. And
Dad, that's Cars.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Cars. All right. If you haven't seen Cars, you need to watch it. It's an incredible movie. One of my favorite all-time movies. Okay? Thank you, boys. Cars. You think about Lightning McQueen. And his life gets slowed down. And he ends up in this small town. And he ends up making friends, lifelong friends with these people of this small town. And I'm reminded of the scene right before right after he finishes the road. If you know the movie, you know what I'm talking about. He finishes repaving the road. And he's ready to go off to California and do his last race, right? Or his big race. And right before he does that, he comes in and he has all the townspeople do all this. He has them help him. He goes to Luigi. Was it Luigi? Yeah. And he gets new tires, right? And he goes to, what was the car painter guy? Ramon. Goes to Ramon. And he gets his car painted, right? And he's having the town help him out. That's when Lightning learned compassion. He put himself in the shoes of the others, or the tires of the other cars, right? And guys, that's what we're called to do in life. We're called to put ourselves in other people's positions, in other people's shoes, as we call it. Wyatt, verse man. Let's see the verse. Here we go. Verse today. Be kind and compassionate to one another, just as in Christ God forgave you. Ephesians 4:32. Thanks, buddy. Your look on the camera gets better and better every time. Guys, we're called to be kind and compassionate. And during this time when there's so many things going on in the internet, you can see so many people complaining about this and complaining about our leadership and complaining about presidents and governors and mayors and complaining about those people in Walmart that didn't have a mask on or they're going the wrong way. Golly, I can't believe they're going against the arrow, right? All these things that are going on these days is the perfect time for us to be compassionate people. When you pass someone and they're just not acting like they're supposed to, why don't you put yourself in their shoes for a minute? Why don't you think, I wonder what they're going through? When you hear something coming down from our leadership in our country, why don't you put yourself in their position for a little bit? Think of the pressure they're under. Think of the responsibility that they have to lead us through this time. Well, see if that gives you just a little bit of compassion. When we're complaining about maybe our church doesn't do enough or maybe they're doing the wrong thing, put yourselves in your leaders' positions and think about what they're going through, all right? Let's be compassionate. Let's be kind. I love you guys. I miss you. They're still spitting and fighting over the food, so we're going to clean up a little bit. Have a great night. I'll see you next week.